Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to Boyd Gaming's Kansas Star Casino as we get set for the official weigh-ins as Bellator MMA presented by Miller Lite once again returns to one of our favorite venues. A great fight card. We'll talk about that and have the fighters on the scale in just a couple of moments. For those that are on the casino floor, again, as always, we wish you the very best of luck here at Kansas Star, but take a few minutes out, come on over and join us right outside the Kansas Star Arena, right by the box office. The official weigh-ins will have fighters on the scales in just a couple of minutes from now. For those joining us on the live stream, we welcome you to the great state of Kansas as we get set. Bellator tomorrow night presented by Miller Lite. For those that are attending, doors will open at 5 o'clock. First fight at 6 o'clock inside the Bellator cage, and as always, seen live on Spike.com. And then at 8 o'clock Central Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Time, as always, the normal start time live on Spike. Miller Lite will present the main card seen live on Spike. Two massive heavyweights will be in tomorrow night's main event, and for those that are fans, they're joining us every time here at Kansas Star. We welcome back once again the ever popular, the Caveman, Mr. David Rickels will be featured on tomorrow night's fight card. Tickets are still available, but just limited tickets at this point. If you don't have your tickets, you got to get them now. Kansas Star box office right over there to my right, or at Ticketmaster.com. Tonight's weigh-ins, tomorrow night's action, all sanctioned by the Kansas Athletic Commission. Commissioner, Mr. Adam Rohrbach in attendance. Gentlemen, thank you very much. I'm Bellator cage announcer Michael Williams, joined, as always, on stage here at Bellator MMA by the lovely ladies of Bellator. That's Dasha and Mercedes. Joining us here momentarily, the main man here at Bellator MMA. Will have Rich or Scott or both on the stage with the fighters. And let's do it right now to welcome the fighters to the scale. If you'll please welcome one half of the broadcast team live on Spike. Analyst to bring the fighters to the scale. This is Mr. Jimmy Smith.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. Oh, thank you so much. It is great to be back. We start off with our preliminary fights. Of course, check them out on Spike.com. First off, Duran Carlos versus Ty Clark in the featherweight division. First one to the scale. Please welcome out of Overland Park, Kansas, Duran Carlos. A record of 4-1 as a pro. All of his wins, finishes, 1 knockout, 3 submissions. .146 on the dot for Duran Carlos. And his opponent fighting out of Wichita, Kansas. Please welcome Ty Clark. He is undefeated at 5-0, 1 win by knockout. .146 on the dot for Ty Clark. They'll be kicking it off for us. Duran Carlos versus Ty Clark, ladies and gentlemen. Friendly fights here in Kansas. We love it. Next up, the lightweights, 155 pounds, John Gary versus Jason Witt. First to the scale, fighting out of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Please welcome John Gary. A record of 11-6 as a pro, 7 wins by knockout, 3 by submission. .155.4 for John Gary. And his opponent fighting out of Lee Summit, Missouri. Please welcome Jason Witt. A record of 7-2 as a pro, 1 win by knockout, 4 by submission. 158.4 for Jason Witt. Let's give it up for the lightweights. John Gary versus Jason Witt. Moving up the scale to the middleweight division, 185 pounds. Gregory Baben versus Brandon Ferran. First to the scale, fighting out of all the way from Argenville, France. Please welcome Gregory Baben. A record of 16-11, 6 wins by knockout, 7 by submission. .185 on the dot for Gregory Baben. And his opponent fighting out of Abilono, Texas. Please welcome Brandon Ferran. Record of 12-10, 7 wins by knockout, 5 by submission. .187.2 for Brandon Ferran. Let's give it up for the middleweights. Gregory Baben versus Brandon Ferran. And on to the welterweight division, 170 pounds. Andre Fija versus Manny Miraz. First to the scale, fighting out of Portugal. Please welcome Andre Fija. Undefeated at 5-0. All of them finishes, 4 knockouts, 1 submission. .170.8 for Andre Fija. And his opponent fighting out of Wichita, Kansas. Please welcome Manny Miraz. A record of 7-1, 2 wins by knockout, 2 by submission. .170 on the dot for Manny Miraz. Let's give it up for the welterweights. Andre Fija versus Manny Miraz. Moving back up the scale to 185, Julian Marquez versus Chris Harris. First, welcome to the scale, fighting out of Kansas City, Missouri. Please welcome Julian Marquez. .186 for Julian Marquez. And his opponent fighting out of Wichita, Kansas. Please welcome Chris Harris. Undefeated at 4-0, all of those wins by knockout. 185.4 for Chris Harris. Let's give it over some big middleweights. Julian Marquez versus Chris Harris, ladies and gentlemen. We're moving down to the lightweight division, 155 pounds. Henry Lindsay versus Marcio Navajo, first to the scale, fighting out of Pittsburgh, Kansas. Please welcome Henry Lindsay. 155.4 for Henry Lindsay. And his opponent fighting out of Mulvane, Kansas. Please welcome Marcio Navajo. A record of 14-11, 4 wins by knockout, 5 by submission. $155.8 for Marcio Navajo. Let's give it up for the lightweights. Henry Lindsay versus Marcio Navajo. And our final preliminary fight, the big boys, 265 pounds, Kyle Noblet versus David Hammonds, first to the scale, fighting out of Springfield, Missouri. Please welcome Kyle Noblet. Record of 1-0, that 1 win by submission. $242.2 for Kyle Noblet. And his opponent fighting out of Kansas City, Kansas. Please welcome David Hammonds. Record of 1-1, that 1 win by submission. He stands 6'4". $262.4 for David Hammonds. Let's give it up for the heavyweights. Kyle Noblet versus David Hammonds, ladies and gentlemen. This way. Now on to the televised portion of our show. Of course, check us out on Spike TV. We start out in the ladies flyweight division, 125. Becky Ruth versus Elena Ovchinnikova, first to the scale, fighting out of Pacific, Missouri. Please welcome Becky Ruth. A record of 5-1 as a pro, all of those wins by knockout. $125.2 for Becky Ruth. You talk to me first. Becky, the biggest fight of your career, but you said I put more into this fight than I've ever had the opportunity to put into my other fights. What does that mean for the fans tomorrow night?
That means they're in for a great show.
And her opponent, all the way from the Ukraine, please welcome Elena Ovchinnikova. A record of 10-3 as a pro, 8 of those wins by submission. 124.6 for Lena Ovchinnikova. Lena, a big show. You said there's a lot of pressure on her to win, being the favorite, but she's ready for that. Tell me why.
Конечно, всегда готова.
She's always ready.
You heard it, two girls who are always ready. They will kick off our show. Becky Ruth versus Alina Ovchinnikova. Give it up for them. No, next up, the featherweight division, 145 pounds. Chuka Willis versus Gaston Reno. First to scale, fighting out of Emporia, Kansas. Please welcome Chuka Willis. So easy to chant, isn't it? Yeah. A record of 6-2 as a pro, 3 wins by knockout, 1 by submission. Hey. 146 on the dot for Chuka Willis. No, you're facing me, bro. We're not squaring off. Chuka, you just heard the hometown support for you now bumped up to the televised portion of the card. Having this crowd behind you, what does that mean to you?
It just means I'm ready, that's all.
Look. Right over there on the blue. And his opponent, all the way from Uruguay, please welcome Gaston Reno. Undefeated at 5-0, 2 wins by knockout, 3 by submission. He has never gone the distance. $143.6 for Gaston Reno. Gaston, all the way from Uruguay, you're fighting in this guy's backyard. What does that mean for the fans tomorrow night?
I get used to this. I do this from I was 7 years old, so I'm ready to show everybody my flag, Uruguay, show what we have. So super excited for this.
It's going to be a great fight at 145. Chuka Willis versus Gaston Reno. Give it up for him. Moving up the scale to the middleweight division, Francisco France versus Kendall Grove. First to the scale, fighting out of Gilbert, Arizona. Please welcome Francisco France. A record of 13-3-1, 12 of those 13 wins by submission. $185.4 for Francisco France. Francisco, so your opponent tomorrow night, Kendall Grove, a big name, very experienced, everybody knows him. What would it mean to you in your career to have him on your list of wins?
Well, great opportunity. Put a lot of time in this camp, and tomorrow I'm going to get out of here with the victory.
And his opponent, all the way from Maui, Hawaii, please welcome Kendall Da Spider Grove. Kendall! A record of 22-15, 6 wins by knockout, 10 by submission. He stands 6'6". Kendall. 186 on the dot for Kendall da Spider Grove. Kendall, we all know what a great fighter you are, how you bring it every time. But last time we saw a technician, a guy staying behind his jab and boxing. Are we going to see that tomorrow night? Or are we going to see the Hawaii Brawler?
You never know what you're going to get. So, no, I come to fight every time, and this makes no exception. This is not different. Whatever he shows me, I'm going to take, and expect a good fight. Enjoy the show.
Let's give it up for the middleweights, Francisco France versus Kendall da Spider Grove, ladies and gentlemen. Now on to the lightweight division, 155 pounds. Bobby Cooper versus David Rickels. First to the scale, fighting out of Knob Noster, Missouri. Please welcome Bobby Cooper. A record of 12-5, 1 knockout, 3 submissions. $155.8 for Bobby Cooper. Bobby, undefeated in your Bellator career, but facing a huge name, a guy very popular here who always brings it. Are you excited about tomorrow night?
Man, I'm very excited. I think it's a good matchup for both of us. We're both going to bring it, and I'm just going to punch him in the face a lot.
Good strategy, very sound. And his opponent fighting out of Derby, Kansas, please welcome David, the Caveman, Rickels. Record of 16-4, 4 wins by knockout, 6 by submission.
Okay. How do I do this? I've never done this before. Take off your shoes. Go, David! Woo! Woo!
156 on the dot for David, the Caveman, Rickels.
Good water. The best water ever. Okay, sorry for delaying this. Delay of game. Delay of game. All right, I'm back. Hold on.
Okay, man, fighting here always seems to bring the best out in you. Your opponent, another local guy, very, very tough. What do you expect for the fans tomorrow night?
Local?
Comparatively, I'm from LA. This is all local to me. Go ahead.
This is Derby, Kansas. You're talking to the king of Kansas. And, man, this dude ain't a local. All right, but Bobby's tough. He will be game to fight. I know that much, and I'm excited for it. I've trained very hard, and, you know, I always have expectations to hold here at the Kansas Star. And, you know, I had a very tough loss last time against Michael Chandler, and, you know, I developed a certain technique for handling a loss, and I want to share that knowledge with Bobby, so I've got a gift for him.
Are these used?
Tissues and hand lotion for Bobby. Here you go, buddy.
Go over there. I'm not talking anymore. Go over there. I feel kind of dirty, but Bobby Cooper versus David Rickels. Give it up for him.
I'm just, it trips me out. I have no words.
And our main event of the evening in the heavyweight division, 265 pounds, Vinicius Spartan versus Cheick Kongo. First to the scale, fighting all the way from Curitiba, Brazil. Please welcome Vinicius Spartan. I'm not even scrubbing that out of my brain. A record of 8-3, 6 knockouts, 2 submissions, all of his wins, finishes. He stands 6'7". 233.6 for Vinicius Spartan. Spartan, you've had some great wins in Bellator, but Cheick Kongo, one of the biggest names you've ever faced. What would a win over him mean for you?
It means a lot for me. I have a lot of respect for this guy, but I need to feed my family, so when the doors of the cage close, we need to take care of business, and I just want to say I'm a finisher.
And his opponent, all the way from Paris, France, please welcome Cheick Kongo. Record of 23-10-2, 12 wins by knockout, 4 by submission. He stands 6'4".
This guy always takes his time. I have a weird job.
$235.2 for Cheick Kongo. Cheick, you're a heavyweight known for his finishing ability, known for his knockout power. You're taking on another finisher in Vinicius Spartan. What does that mean for the fans tomorrow night?
It's going to mean something exciting, you know, and hopefully you're going to enjoy the fight. So we get put on the main event. So be there to cherish us, and the best, you know, have to win. So.
Love it. Our main event, the heavyweights, Vinicius Spartan versus Cheick Kongo, ladies and gentlemen. This is Bellator 150. Our cameraman right there, Joe Sharaba, has been at every single Bellator. Give it up for him. The Marathon Man, we love you.
Jimmy Smith, thank you very much. Dasha, Mercedes, Rich, to all the fighters, thank you. Hey, to all those that have joined us here live at the weigh-ins, we thank you. A reminder, tomorrow night here at Bellator, we will have the legend, the pioneer himself, Mr. Royce Gracie, signing autographs for ticket holders after tomorrow night's televised main event live on Spike. So don't go anywhere. If you're at the show tomorrow night, stick around, meet and greet, get the autograph of the pioneer himself, Mr. Royce Gracie, after tomorrow night's main event. It'll happen right here, right by the front entrance. That's tomorrow night. For more information, just come on up and ask us. Tickets are available right over there. Limited seats remain. We'll see you tomorrow night. Doors open at 5 o'clock. We'll go live on Spike, 8 o'clock local time. Again, join us tomorrow night as Miller Lite presents Bellator MMA.